Welcome to Spirit-Led Radio. I'm your host, Heather Strang, and this week we're talking about what a full body no really means. So, for those of you that have been on this path with me for a little bit of time, you've heard the JOGs talk about a full body yes, and how we only want to take action, especially on those big decisions, when we have the full body yes. This is how we engage our body, mind, and spirit, and we take the most aligned action that we can take. They've also clarified that this full body yes feels like a deep, anchored, peaceful knowing as opposed to a buzzy, excitable, ungrounded feeling. So when we find ourselves in that buzzy, ungrounded, excitable place, we can know that that typically means there's a wound of ours that has been activated. And so before we dive into taking any action, we want to pull back, do some self-inquiry, do some meditation to really ensure that the action that we're taking is the most aligned for us, knowing that fully aligned action feels grounded, feels peaceful, feels anchored. But what about a full body no? So this topic came up because I had a mentorship client that I was working with who had an experience with this, and she was asking me about it because she had been interpreting, and understandably so, that if it's a full body no, that means absolutely not. I must avoid whatever this thing is at all costs. Well, that is not true. So we're going to dive into that a little bit more deeply so you can understand what's happening in your body mind when you have reactions to people, places, things, and opportunities, so that you can take the most aligned action for you and then really have a less bumpy ride. And it's okay if you have a bumpy ride, but of course we want to do everything that we can do and know ourselves on every possible level that we can so that we can really enjoy the fullness of this life experience. So when you are experiencing a person, a place, a thing, an opportunity, and you are feeling a full body no, that is your indicator that there is something that you have kept hidden from yourself that wants to be made known to you. I'll say that again. When you experience a strong form of resistance or a no, or no, absolutely not, get this away from me, get this person away from me, get this thing away from me, whatever it might be, it is your indicator that there is a part of yourself or something within yourself that you have kept hidden or have avoided that now demands your attention. And so this is why when you feel that full body no and you push those things away, and I can attest to this from repeated experience, when you continue to push those full body no items away, those motherfuckers keep coming back. Have you ever noticed that? They just show up in different people, different opportunities, different places. You're just getting the same thing over and over and over again in different versions. And you keep feeling like, wait, but I said no to that. I was clear to spirit that I did not want that. Why does it keep coming back to me? Now, in a general law of attraction understanding, Abraham Hicks would say, oh, it's because shouting no at it keeps it activated in your vibration. But we're going even deeper here because we know that when we feel that strong no, that means there are wounds, there are limiting beliefs, there's potentially past life pieces that have been activated that want your attention, that want your understanding. We didn't come here to just cruise through life. We came here to really know ourselves on the deepest level. And as we do that, we're transmuting and transforming the wounds within us and therefore the wounds of the collective. So we don't want to just walk away and push away everything that is a no to us. Now, that doesn't mean you go hurtling into the full body no. So we're going to explain how to navigate this. So when you come across an item that is a full body no, you want to get curious. In fact, you want to hold off on any decision making. So you're not going to break up with that person or that job or that opportunity or that friend or whatever it is, and you're also not going to dive into it. You're going to take a time out, and you're going to let whatever parties you need to let know that you need time to get clear about what this is for you. Because again, resistance is only letting you know that there's some beautiful gem that wants to be revealed to you, something you haven't been ready for, something you've kept hidden from yourself, something you've been avoiding about yourself. And since you're here to know yourself on the deepest level and thus transcend any previous limitations and thus transcend the limitations of the collective, You want to know this stuff. We don't want to keep running from it. I'll give an example from my own life to help ground this into reality for you. So, and I will use a very specific example, and then you can apply it to whatever that thing might be for you. So for me, there was a particular man, a particular relationship that kept coming back over and over and over and over and over and over again. And every time I would scream no at it. I would be like, no, I do not want this. This is bad. This is wrong, right? Every cell in my body would be screaming at this man, at this relationship. Absolutely not. Get the fuck away from me. I want nothing to do with you, right? Why the hell did it keep coming back? And it came back again and again. And I would be so frustrated. I'd be like, I'm doing my work. What the hell? Why does this keep coming back? Well, it kept coming back because there was like significant gifts for me in that relationship that I did not want to see, because it meant knowing things about myself that I did not want to know. Like, really strongly did not want to know. But because I'm on this path of living fully Spirit-led, when it came back around this past year, and I had the opportunity to work with it in a different way, I stopped. I felt my full body no, and I stopped and I got curious. I said, okay, Spirit, I know my full body no is telling me something important. What do I need to know here? What needs to happen? And the guidance was to go into the relationship. And to go into the relationship and set specific boundaries so there was no sexual activity happening, because as the divine feminine, when you have sex with a partner and a misaligned partner and a full body no partner, or whoever it might be, if it's not fully aligned, you're taking on and absorbing stuff that is not yours. So you don't want to do that, right? So they gave me very clear guidelines. They gave us very clear guidelines. And so we dove into the relationship and we made the commitment that every single thing that came up in that relationship, we would not point the finger at the other, but we would go deeper into our own self-inquiry about why whatever the trigger was coming up and what it had to show us about ourselves. Seriously, one of the most beautiful experiences of my life, one of the best relationship experiences of my life, was standing firmly planted, anchored in this full body no, knowing there was a gift. There was a big gift for me here, and I had to lean into it. So I did. And with every single trigger that came up, every piece of resistance, every absolutely not, no, how could I, how could you, all the stories, with every story, I sat my ass down in meditation and I said, I want to know. I want to know myself. I want to know why this is coming up. I want to know what it is I don't want to know about myself that is causing me to blame this person for what I'm feeling. And you guys, it was fucking amazing. This is when I started doing work with my little girl self. This is when I started reintegrating parts of myself that I had long forgotten and had in fact purposely distanced myself from, because I did not want to experience those emotions again, except we can't just shove that shit down. It has to be felt. And again, all it wants is to be felt. And so I would just feel whatever the emotion was. I would be present to whatever the experience was. And it not only would be gone and I would feel more whole, I then opened up this whole new level of love and appreciation for this man that was walking this path with me and allowing me to rediscover myself and really heal parts of myself that I had been too afraid to look at before. And so this is the gift in the resistance. Anytime you want to make what's happening about someone else or something else, or blame whatever's happening on spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, you have an opportunity to know a part of yourself that you have previously kept at bay, a part of yourself that you have perhaps stuffed down and not wanted to know. And when you know this part of yourself and you make the choice to love yourself even with that, right? Because what I got to see was that my resistance was to the shadow that this relationship was bringing to me, right? So one of the gifts of wound mate relationships is they bring us our shadow to see and integrate. But what we typically do is push it away. And the same with jobs or friendships where they bring us our shadow. We don't want to see that shit. We're like, nope, not me. That's your problem. It's your deal. You go over there. I don't want anything to do with this. Except this person, opportunity, job, place, whatever it is, would not be in your life unless you were supposed to see it. And so we begin to experience and relate to our life in a totally different manner because we're no longer willing to take the cop out, to live at that lower level of consciousness, which says people do things to me, other people are responsible for my happiness. The way I feel has been triggered by someone else, and that's their problem. If you are having a strong reaction to anything, it's you, baby. It's all you. And this is a good thing because it empowers us to know ourselves and get curious about who we really are. And then it opens up all of the spaciousness to love not only ourselves, but the other at an even more beautiful level. And then, you know what happens then? Then spirit can take care of it from there. Then the outcome is not important because you finally showed up for yourself. You finally felt the things you were too afraid to feel. You finally admitted to yourself the things you did not want to admit to yourself about whatever it is. And you said, you know what? This may be true about me. In fact, this is true about me. And I fucking love myself even more seeing that perfect imperfection within myself. It allows you to feel more connected to who you really are, to spirit, to source, to the other people in your life. It is a beautiful practice. And so when your body screams no at you, when you're feeling no, absolutely not, I have so much resistance, you find yourself in blame about a job, about a person, about a place, whatever it is, just know that there is something exquisite that wants to be revealed to you. And it's something you've told yourself you can't know or you can't handle knowing or it's not okay for you to know. And let me tell you and trust me in this, you can handle anything because you are a divine being and you have the full support of Source and legions of guides and angels of the highest light that are here cheering you on to know the unknowable, to integrate and love yourself even more no matter what it is, and to continue to soar. I was having this conversation with this wonderful person in my life, and we were talking about, the shadow and seeing the shadow parts of ourselves. And he said so beautifully, it's the fertilizer. And then we get to decide what it produces, what the harvest is. So recognizing that whatever that thing is that you don't want to see or know about yourself that is causing you to resist this person, place, or thing, is actually like the fertilizer that allows you to become who you really are. It's such an important part of your evolution. And so yes, we want to take action on the full body yes, but we don't want to run away from the full body no. We want to be just as curious, just as inquisitive, just as willing to open to it and lean into it because the richness that awaits us there. It's almost as good, if not better at times, to the full body yes and going for it. Because what I experienced was this integration of myself, this anchoring into who I really am in the fullest sense, body, mind, and spirit, because I was willing to see what I had not previously wanted to see. And this is a continual journey, my friends. And that's the joyous part about this. We get to discover new things about ourselves and about life and about the nature of reality in every single day. And all it takes is your curiosity and your willingness to do the work that you came here to do anyway. So good, right? So good. So that is the answer to what the full body no means. Please post any questions or comments that you might have about this. We also had a beautiful question submitted that we're going to address today as well. So the question was linked to being a creative, and this lovely lady shared that there's so many passions that she'd like to get her hands on, but there's all these different priorities sort of pulling at her, and she wants to be of service. and she gets overwhelmed and not being able to focus on one thing. And she's wondering, do I need to change my mindset? How do I handle this? Do I just need to save up a lot of money so then I can do the things to help other people? How does this work for me? And so what this question is really asking is about what is our soul's purpose, right? And how that manifests for us. And so it is completely common and typical and normal and necessary for us as multidimensional beings to have multidimensional interests and creative pursuits. But the way that you can make sure that you are dialed in to living your purpose and living your path is to ask every day, every week, every month, whatever it is for you, how may I serve? How can I use my talents and gifts to be of service today? And for some of you, that is going to be acting. It's going to be social work. It's going to be counseling. It's going to be healing. It's going to be being a lawyer. It's going to be an engineer. This can manifest in any framework because you are a unique expression. And so it's really bringing this service-oriented mentality into your passions and into everything you do. How can I be of the utmost service in this job that I'm in or in this calling that I have? So in this question, she was feeling like, I love these creative endeavors. Acting is one of her creative endeavors, and I want to help more people. So how do I do that? Do I make a bunch of money acting and then try and help people, or what can I do? And what we're saying is this is not like one or the other. This is actually that you fulfill both. Because if you're called to the path and the craft of acting, you can bring in a service mindset to that. You can bring a service mindset into everything that you do. And that service mindset follows you in every encounter you have with the crew, with the bathroom attendant, with the lot attendant, whatever it might be. You bring in that, how can I be of service? And often how you can be of service is to be kind and loving to every single human being and living being that you encounter, animals too. So allowing yourself to be of service by just being the most joyous, loving, kind-hearted being that you can be, that's one of the best ways we can all be of service in any of our endeavors. It does not have to be either or. Now, of course, I very strongly encourage us, everyone, to find 1 to 2, causes that you're really passionate about and to donate regularly to them, either in time and money or both. Because that is an incredibly important part of living in wealth and abundance. If you want to live in wealth and abundance, you need to be contributing to the wealth and abundance of others. Very, very important. But it is not that do I help people and be of service, or do I go do the passion that I want to do? You follow the passion you want to do and you bring the service into that. It is not the only way to help is not the quote unquote helping professions like medical, healthcare, healer, counselor. In fact, there are many people in those industries that are not actually helping people. They're creating codependent cycles. They're keeping unhealthy and enabling patterns going. So it's not that the only way to help is to do a quote unquote helping path. You can bring service into every single thing that you do. And the biggest way that you contribute to peace and goodwill in our world is to treat every single being that you encounter with love and kindness and respect. And so, great news, you don't have to choose between acting and helping others. You actually get to bring that service mindset into the acting, into the creative pursuit, into the sales position, into the accounting position, into your parenting, whatever it might be. The question for all of us to ask is, how can I be of service today? Spirit, show me how I can be of service today. And that may be paying for the latte for the person behind you. That may be paying for a meal for someone at the restaurant you go to. That may be, today I put in a donation to buy a cow for this family farm in Africa. Every day you can ask, how can I be of service? How can I be of the most service today? And follow the opportunities and the ways that shows up for you. And again, know that can span all different realms and levels. And most importantly, remembering that for each living being you encounter, you show up with a sense of love and kindness and respect. That's something that we all need now more than ever. And that's something that's so important to changing the collective climate that we see that is occurring in our world, where there is still hatred and judgment and repression of others. The only way that we can heal that is by embodying peace and love and kindness with every being we meet, and stop marginalizing ourselves and others. And of course, doing our own spiritual and personal development so that this cycle of not being in service to others that seems to be part of the collective can be healed once and for all. So if you like this audio, please share it with those in your community and the people that you're called to share it with. If you'd like to join my community, log into heatherstrang.com. You can sign up, receive a free energetic health toolkit, and become part of my online community. Please post any questions or comments you have below, and I look so forward to our next episode. Please submit any other questions you might have that you'd like to see addressed in Spirit Led Radio to heatherstrangassistant@gmail.com. So much love and magic to you. Enjoy this wonderful life that is here for you.